We'll extend our discussion for governance standard. This is the third standard and this is for internal Shari'a review. We'll discuss that what is the objective, what is the meaning of internal Shari'a reviews, how to, while review, how we will make sure that we are independent, we have objectivity, we are professionally proficient, qualified, competent for this work. Along with this discussion, we'll see what is the scope of the work, how we will gauge the performance of the internal Shari'a review works, who is going to manage what quality reviews and assurance we are going to achieve, what will be the element of effective Shari'a review control systems, what is the responsibility in terms of implementing with the standard, what is the effective date and how we adopt, when we adopt this standard. This is the scope of the discussion now. Let's start our discussion. The purpose of putting these governesses in our institutions is to provide a framework, a guidance about covering the Shari'a, Islamic Shari'a principles and rules. Mainly it covers the objective. We should first define management by objective is the latest managerial tools. So first of all, every assignment, everything that we do should have objectives. Then what is the internal Shari'a's reviews. Then we will see like how to create independence and objectivity, the proficiency, competency of the people, independence, scope of the work's performance. This is all we do it in for the quality assurance and compliance purposes. Now, internal Shari'a review will be carried out by an independent department or a part of internal audit department. Depending on the size of the Islamic financial institutions. If they are big, they can afford, there is a cost and benefit analysis always when we are doing compliance works. If we can afford, the perceived benefits are more and the cost is less, so we can choose to have a separate department who will make sure only the internal Shari'a review. But if the size of the IFI is short, then we will give this as a compensating control, we will give it to the internal audit department. This department is going to make sure that management of an IFI discharge the responsibilities in relation to the implementation of Shari'a rules and principles as determined by IFI's SSBs. The internal review, of course, is an integral part of the governance. Here you are going to check the policies, you have to define the state of purpose, authorities, responsibility in a formal document that is called charter. Charter will give you what are the broad picture, what is your role in the organization, so it should not conflict with the other activities of the organization, and you know your authorities, responsibilities in the start. This is the one of the most important document, charter, which defines, it's like a preamble or a constitute of a department or a company. Charter will make it very clear about Shari'a rules, reviewers, that what they reviewer are to have no executive powers or responsibilities for activities they review. Then it may be carried out by the internal audit department if properly qualified and independent. First of all, in the charter, when we make audit department, we make that they are for assurance and they are for consulting. If they are for consulting, this has to be defined in the charter. And for consulting, they should be qualified. Generally, for Shari'a, they should know the Shari'a rules, regulation, Islamic accounting, auditing, and the prevalent rules, regulations related to Islamic financial institution. If they comply, they can be part of the reviewing committee and they can perform this job. In terms of independence, of course, independence is the main concern for any good governance, because The opinion of the reviewer is really matters. It should be independent, it should be free from biases, and through charter we give this independence to this committees, that they are administratively reporting to whom, functionally they are reporting to whom. This is one of the most important thing that we have to make sure. This committee in terms of should have professional proficiency. When we say proficiency, they should have required skills, ability and knowledge. So far, competency does not say that you should be having a specific certification which will make you competent. But of course, if you have specific certifications, it will enhance your learning abilities, ability to think out of box, and they can develop leaderships in you. So we suggest to take these latest certifications to upgrade your competency in professional skills. Compliance with code of ethics is really important. We have already discussed the code of ethics. This is the main spirit of Islam, that we should be honest, we should be fair, we should maintain the confidentiality. So this goes side by side. Knowledge, skills, abilities, we should have CPD, continuous professional development. For that we should do as much as we can do. One of the very more important concept is due professional care. Due professional care is really important. I'll give you one example for due professional care. There are certain works, of course. Suppose we appoint a new auditor, he's just a fresh graduate, and he's so enthusiastic about his job, and he's really concerned that he should do his best. So maybe the first day he was given a file, this has 100 invoices. At the end of the day, he told his supervisor that I have done 100 out of 100, and he was very excited. So his supervisor told that, look, 100, we are auditors, we have to test based on acceptable sampling. The first thing that you have to do is sampling. So maybe based on the risk level, it may be 10%, 20%. So you were supposed to test 20, not 100. So what you did is extra care. This is not required actually. We are looking for due professional care. Means as much their care is required, we should do that way. So Shari'a reviewers shall exercise due professional care in performing their task. They should shall be appropriate to the complexity of the Shari'a reviews performed, and they should give the due respect and dedication to the work. Scope of the work should be very much defined, and we should perform these works according to the Shari'a standards. There are just few things in general you have to keep in mind when you are in the performing stage, that the internal Shari'a reviewer shall plan each internal Shari'a's reviews, assignments, planning documentation shall include, but not limited to, of course, there are a lot of documents like background checks, background informations, establishing reviews, objectives, scope of the works, getting guidelines from the supervisory board, determining the resources required, how many infrastructural, how much human resource based, communicating with all individuals in IFI who need to know about the Shari'a reviews. Then you have to do surveys to get more familiarity. You can write the internal Shari'a review programs. You can determine how to and when to review these standards, and you can obtain, of course, the approval work plan from the concerned authorities in any ways.